A string of several tornadoes slammed 6 states, killing dozens. I'm Jenna Ray reporting on the aftermath.
A group of Frontenac high schoolers is giving back to the Pittsburgh community and getting shoes to those in need this winter. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with those details.
On the heels of a stormy Friday across our area and across the entire 4-state region, we were a lot quieter today. I think we will stay quiet for tomorrow. We'll start breaking down the extended forecast with a look at Sunday and first weather coming up.
The Joplin Eagles are taking on Ray Peck in the championship game of the Carthage Invitational. We'll have the highlights in sports.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We do have a busy night of news this evening, and we are beginning in Miami with an escaped inmate from the Ottawa County Jail. According to the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office, at around 1 this morning, Charles or Chuck Chance escaped from the Ottawa County Jail. Chance was last seen wearing a white t-shirt and gray sweatpants. He's described as a white male, approximately 5'10", around 200 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Authorities say he was last seen in the North Miami area. If you have any information on his location, you're urged to contact the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office at 918-542-2806 or Central Dispatch at 918-542-5585. And we're following breaking news out of the east following a major December tornado outbreak. Nearly 100 people, possibly more, have been killed following the significant outbreak of tornadoes east of our area. This is damage from Mayfield, Kentucky, which was hit hardest by the storms. At least 50 of the dead are from Mayfield. However, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says that number is likely 70 to 100. The Mayfield tornado started in Arkansas and traveled through 4 different states, and if confirmed, could be the longest track tornado on record. We do have special coverage from our sister stations out east. We're beginning in Monette, Arkansas, where 1 person was killed and at least 5 hurt after a nursing home was destroyed Friday night during the tornado event. Bria Jones from our affiliate WREG filed this report.
We're now getting a better look at the damage and destruction at Monette Manor in Arkansas. Officials confirm at least 1 person was killed and 5 others were injured when the tornado hit. Now take a look behind me. You can see wheelchairs and hospital beds scattered across the parking lot. You can also see the windows and several cars are blown out and that parts of the roof have been ripped off and the building has even collapsed in some areas. From officials, again, we know that 1 person was killed in this storm and 5 others were injured here at the nursing home. The owner of the Monette Manor says more than 60 people were actually inside of a building when that storm hit. Now, from the owner of the nursing home, we've learned that those people have been taken to nearby area hospitals and nursing homes. Now reporting in Monette, Arkansas, I'm Bria Jones. Back to you.
Multiple tornadoes, as we mentioned, left a path of death and destruction across Kentucky and at least 4 other states in the nation's midsection. President Biden calls the devastating storms an unimaginable tragedy. Jenna Ray reports from Edwardsville, Illinois, where an Amazon warehouse was hit.
At daybreak, the widespread devastation across Mayfield, Kentucky could be seen for miles. A deadly tornado late Friday, virtually destroying the downtown area, while massive storms left damage across many neighboring states.
This has been the most devastating tornado event in our state's history. The level of devastation is unlike anything I have ever seen. You see parts of industrial buildings' roofs or sidings, in trees if trees are lucky enough to stand.
Dozens are feared dead after the twister tore through Kentucky for more than 200 miles. The toll is expected to climb as rescuers search through rubble around the region.
But today we're going to focus on those who have lost so much, and that's where our hearts are.
President Biden addressed the nation Saturday in the tornado's aftermath.
Jill and I pray, and I sincerely mean this, pray for those who've lost loved ones and for those who are uncertain of the fate of their loved ones.
Here in Edwardsville, Illinois, about 15 miles east of St. Louis, the roof blown off this Amazon warehouse behind me. In addition, a wall the size of a football field collapsed during the massive storm. This new employee was returning to the building from her route when a dispatcher warned her to stay away.
It was very overwhelming. You know, my very first day I had to encounter, something that I've never encountered before, and it's just experiencing it that I will never forget.
Amid the damage across the region, more than a dozen people were trapped inside this nursing home in Arkansas as the building collapsed. I'm Jenna Ray for CBS News, Edwardsville, Illinois.
The storms hit a candle factory in Kentucky, as well as so many other homes and buildings in the surrounding area. And the American Red Cross of Missouri and Arkansas is coordinating with local and state emergency management to assist communities hit by those devastating tornadoes. The Red Cross has sent responders to affected communities in the greater St. Louis area, including Edwardsville, Illinois, and in St. Charles County, where homes were destroyed in Defiance, Missouri. Responders also provided assistance in Wright and Stone counties in Missouri, where homes were damaged, and are in the northeast Arkansas communities affected in Craighead County and surrounding areas. If you would like to help, you can visit redcross.org. Of course, we did see some nasty storms on our end last night, but thankfully nothing like what they saw out east. Nick Kelly.
Absolutely right, Chris. The worst that we got from those storms, especially out in Dade County, were maybe a couple of hailstones between quarters and golf balls. That was about it, and we'll certainly take it compared to what that storm system overall did. And plus, we'll take what happened behind the front. Nothing today, still looking quiet from 7th and Range Line, but quite a bit cooler behind the front. We were in the lower to middle 70s the other day, but we only made it to 47 after we started at 33 degrees this morning. So after all of those storms, all these severe weather reports, it is nice to keep this completely quiet as we go through not just tonight, but throughout the weekend tomorrow. It has cooled off quite a bit faster than I anticipated. We're already in the lower to middle 30s across the board, but you see that southerly breeze kicking back into gear, even though it's light. I think it'll keep most of us in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees as we get our Sunday morning started, but as soon as it cranks into gear, much warmer tomorrow, at least considerably warmer with highs in the mid-50s. We'll break down the rest of the week here in a bit, Chris.
All right, Nick, thank you. Right back to local news. Every year, the Marine Corps Reserve collect toys for local families who may otherwise not have much of a Christmas to celebrate. And it's something that most are probably familiar with. It's Toys for Tots. Well, today marked the distribution of the toys collected for Newton and McDonald counties. Officials say they've accepted applications from more than 250 families, which will go to help nearly 700 children.
It's always rewarding. It's a busy time, but to know that we're helping so many children in need, it's a good thing.
Toys were distributed at the Monarch Southern Baptist Church in Neosho. Santa and Mrs. Claus were out and about in Carthage today to spread holiday cheer to the VFW's post members and their families. The kiddos, and as you'll see, even some adults, had the opportunity for photos on Santa's lap. Attendees were also able to eat hot dogs, chips, and soda provided by the organization. It was all part of a way for the VFW to give back to their members and get them in the Christmas spirit.
Everybody that's out here that you see, most of the members, men and women, are combat veterans. So they've been across somewhere where they've got a badge or a ribbon on their DD-214. So obviously you want to take care of the people that take care of you, you know.
Next Saturday, the 18th, the VFW plans to host a turkey shoot to raise funds for local veterans. They will also be giving out food baskets to veterans in need. A group of Frontenac high schoolers were in Pittsburgh today handing out shoes to those in need this winter. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with the students on why they volunteered their time to help the community and how their teacher thinks it can help them in the future.
On a Saturday night, you won't find this group of high school students at the mall or at the movies. You'll find them volunteering at the Lord's Diner in Pittsburgh.
So being able to see people walk up to the window and being able to hand them a pair of shoes is a really cool thing.
It's a part of a class at Frontenac High School called Raider Inc., a student-run graphics business.
We sell shirts and we sell items and raise money by just every item we sell is $1 raised for our organization. We decided to do shoes.
Anyone was able to come to the Lord's Diner and get a pair of shoes free of charge.
Last year we sold shirts to businesses with their logos on them, and the shirts raised $2,300. So, and that's what we were able to purchase the shoes.
Now, these students are able to see their hard work pay off.
A big part of me wanting to be here is that I spent almost every class period of the spring semester working. So being able to see the finished product given out to the people of the community is a really big deal for me and the other seniors that are here today as well.
Their teacher hopes the experience can help them not only now, but also later in life.
Should be shaping the kids, and I believe that if they can do it when they're 16, 17, 18, and when they're 26 with some sort of power in a company, that they could be able to change the company.
Not only was it a big accomplishment for the students to see their hard work pay off, but it was also a way to help out those in need in the community this winter. In Pittsburgh, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
The group had 230 pairs of shoes to pass out. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Othel Heron Jr. served in the Army and the Marines in Vietnam and South Korea, his hometown, Neosho. We're proud to recognize Othel Heron Jr., tonight's four-state hero. Still ahead on the KOAM News at 10, MSSU holds its commencement ceremony drive-through, well, rather walk-through style. Missouri Southern's fall graduates were honored today with their commencement ceremony, but it wasn't a traditional ceremony. Graduates were able to choose between a morning or afternoon ceremony and walked across the stage in shifts. The change started in December of 2020 to make the ceremony safer during the pandemic. The university received feedback that parents and students liked this better, as it was a more personal way to graduate from the university.
Students sign up for a 15-minute shift, and so they come and go throughout the day. They're spaced out, and we walk them through a number of stations to learn about the meaning of the regalia, commencement, and then ultimately receive their diplomas and cross the stage.
The university allowed graduates' families to walk through the ceremony with them as a symbol of walking alongside them through their entire lives. Well, today kicks off 34th Annual Food Basket Brigade in Newton County. Volunteers started their day by going door to door to collect non-perishable food items. All the food collected was taken back to this building at the Newton County Fairgrounds, where volunteers, as you see there, sorted and inventoried all the groceries. Newton County Food Basket was established in 1987 to help families during the Christmas season. Organizers collect enough food for a Christmas dinner and nearly 2 weeks of essential food to distribute to families in need to get a little help through the holidays.
You don't realize how many volunteers, because everybody here is volunteer. All the food is donated. Money to buy food is all donated. So you realize, you sit back and you realize just how big of an operation it is, especially when we're providing food for close to 950 families this year, or at least that's what we're expecting to do.
Distribution of the food baskets will take place next Saturday at the large building at the fairgrounds. Later in sports, today is the final day of the Carthage Invitational. Danny Terzer, she's got those highlights.
And after that storm system passed through the other day, we're thankfully going to keep quiet for the next few days, and we'll see how the rest of the week's shaping up when we come back. The last storm system that plowed on through, we could say good riddance to that. Even though it led to a mild start this weekend with highs in the lower to middle 70s the other day, we'll take the quiet weather behind the front, even though we have to cool things back down, but we have to. It's December after all. Thankfully, though, quiet all day long and all evening long. Still is from our live shot of indigo sky outside of Seneca, Missouri. And again, the temperatures, they took quite a tumble once that front plowed on through yesterday evening. We went from lower to middle 70s the other afternoon, and then we tanked into the lower to middle 30s this morning. Only topped out about 47 degrees. That's all we could muster for today, despite all the sunshine that we saw once we got on the backside of all the rain and even thunderstorms during the afternoon that fired up on top of here and then just did nothing but worsen as they traveled across the state. Thankfully, this has been dry all day long. It's going to stay that way again for tomorrow. And just to make doubly sure, the radar network's going to get a break until we see, sticking with Doug's pattern, our next active stretch, which will start to unfold as we head toward the middle of the week. From 7th and Rangeline, though, 1019, skies look okay. The only busy side from the tower cam is the traffic passing by on the east side of the city. 32 in Joplin, feels like 26, though, with that south wind at 7 miles per hour. Then the temperatures, I'll be quite frank, they cool off quite a bit more than I expected already. We're 10-19 and we already have lower to middle 30s on the board, but I still think we're not too far off from where we're going to bottom out overnight, because after the west breeze we had all day, a southerly breeze has kicked back into gear. Even though it's light at 5 to 10 miles per hour, that means we're going to hold steady around 30 through the overnight and then really start to warm back up again as we head into tomorrow. All across the Central Plains, the Midwest, it's nice to see high pressure and control to keep us dry after the last storm system caused all sorts of havoc. It's continuing to move toward the Atlantic. We're going to have a lot of weather off to our immediate west, so that is going to be our weather, thankfully, for not only tomorrow, but as we get the new work week and school week underway on Monday. Even though it's nice to see nothing but clear skies on the future track, unfortunately, it's got the right idea of how tonight and tomorrow morning will unfold. We'll keep temperatures cold. We'll bottom out right around 30 degrees with that south breeze at least light at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then as it cranks into gear as we go into the afternoon, maybe 10 to 20 in the afternoon, gusts near 25. We'll go to 50 by noon in Joplin and topping out around 55. In fact, everybody's fair game to at least go into the mid-50s. So a bit of a blustery day tomorrow, but we're dry and we're going to trend a bit warmer compared to today, so we'll certainly take it. The jet stream setup has the jet lifting back to the north as another upper level ridge tries to develop in the Gulf. That pushes us into the 60s as we think we stay quiet for Monday. Then once we get into the middle of the week, we'll watch for one wave to bring some energy, maybe some scattered showers Tuesday and Wednesday, thunderstorms Thursday morning, then we're dry Thursday, but then another system by Friday into Saturday. While this looks like to be mainly rain as we go into Friday, depending on how fast temperatures drop, if there's any moisture still around too, it could end as maybe a rain-snow mix to start Saturday morning out. But temperatures, we look okay for the next few days for sure. 55 tomorrow, 62 Monday, upper 60s to lower 70s through midweek crisp. But after we have another mild start to next weekend, we're going to tumble into the 30s for Saturday afternoon.
That's going to be pretty darn chilly. And this roller coaster of temperatures, man, I needed to pick one or the other sometime soon.
Yeah, we'll sort it out. We got plenty of time before it gets really cold again, but we'll just enjoy the next few quiet days.
We will definitely enjoy it, Nick. Thank you so much. Turning to sports, it is championship night for a few local basketball tournaments.
The Joplin Eagles aim for the Carthage Invitational title this evening, plus Carl Junction meets Farmington in the championship game of the Lady Eagle Classic. Those highlights and more next. Today is the final day of the Carthage Invitational. The Joplin Eagles are undefeated in the tournament and have earned a spot in the championship game. Joplin meets Ray Peck in the title game. In the second quarter, Joe Jasper kicks it up court to Always Right. He puts it down with two hands. Then Holden Kephart knocks down the three. Miles Sutton drops another here. Back-to-back triples makes it a 1-point game heading into half. Time winding down in the third. Big three from Brantley Morris. Rylan Teal puts on the post moves and gets the bucket to tie it. Joplin up by one now with 30 seconds left. Bruce Wilbert comes up with the steal. And Taryn Gibson puts the Eagles up by three. Joplin wins the Carthage Invitational Championship over Ray Peck 42-39. The Carl Junction Bulldogs are also playing for a tournament title this evening. CJ hits the floor against Farmington in the championship game of the Lady Eagle Classic. Destiny Berge knocks down a three for the Bulldogs. Then to start the second, Jenna Lawrence takes it down the court. She hits the three. Morgan Bry, no pressure on her. Farmington with a nice-sized lead in the third. Bulldogs trying to catch up. Hallie Shorter takes the pass, knocks it down from behind the arc. Farmington, though, takes down Carl Junction 68-49 to win the tournament title. Both Pittsburg State and Missouri Southern are on the road this evening. The Southern women are 2-0 in conference play and on a 4-game winning streak. Missouri Southern rolls by Rogers State 84-65. Lacey Stokes finishes with 18 points and 8 assists. Lane Skiles with 16 points and Haley Grant with 11. The Gorillas return from their road trip with 2 wins. Pittsburg State beats Northeastern State 65-51 today. Sydney Crane drops 16 points, 6 rebounds. Tristan Gegg follows with 13 points. On the men's side, Missouri Southern stays perfect in conference play, topping Rogers State 67-53. Stan Scott with a big double-double, 26 points and 10 rebounds. As for the Gorillas, Pitt State loses their 3rd in a row, 59-42. The Kansas Jayhawks are back in action tonight after a lopsided win over UTEP in Kansas City earlier this week. Kansas aiming for their 4th straight in the border war against Mizzou. First half, Christian Brown lobs it to David McCormick for the dunk. Later, Brown in transition goes up for the one-handed jam himself. Next possession, on the fast break, Brown skips it to Juwan Harris for the lay-in. Kansas in control. Final seconds of the half, Ochai Agbaji knocks down the 3. Agbaji with a game-high 21 points. Second half, Christian hits the 3. Allen Fieldhouse goes crazy as the Jayhawks hit the century mark. Kansas dominates Missouri 102-65.
You know, we talked about this earlier about just the level of basketball. It's interesting how it's so quickly shifted from football to suddenly it's an entire basketball sportscast. But it's got to be exciting.
Honestly, those state championship games in Columbia feel like forever ago. I mean, basketball is full swing now, but it's exciting.
It certainly is. Danny, thank you so much. We're going to be right back. Something occurred to me earlier. We've got folks in our control room, Cody and Zach. Nick and I have all, in some fashion, worked on our morning show except for you. So I think we need to get Danny on the morning show.
And how early of a start is that?
I mean, I wake up at
5 a.m.
2:30. So
oh, not too bad.
No, not bad at all. I think you should do it.
It's like, remember where I came from before I came down here, we started at 4:30 in the morning.
So see, 5's not so bad. You get up about 2:30, you know, you get up here, you got to be here about 4. I think you could do it. It's 3 hours straight.
It's a lively crew. You like
it
Tanya.
is.
I don't know how anyone's lively at that hour. I like my night shift.
Something else that's pretty lively, sports, basketball.
Well, the Joplin Eagles certainly had a good Saturday. They win the Carthage Invitational this evening.
Good deal. Nick, final check of that forecast real quick.
So is the weather. Well, good deal.
It is a good
warmer
deal.
Tomorrow, and we'll keep it completely sunny. 55 on Sunday. If anyone missed the forecast, I'm working on the blog, and they'll find it later, Chris, at KOAMnewsnow.com.
All right, Nick, Danny, thank you so much. That is our time for now. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for making us part of your night.